the pride of La Liga and the pride of Serie A, Barcelona and Napoli, and 1-1 at half-time here in Miami. We move on, of course, to Ann Arbor, Michigan for part 2. Not a lot in it, any way you look at statistically, but in terms of the general feel of the game, perhaps more for Ancelotti and Napoli to be pleased about here in this first half. Jerry, would that be your opinion?
Absolutely, Paul. I feel Napoli looked the better side. They were moving forward and they created much more better chances for me. And the busier of the two goalkeepers was Neto, the Brazilian goalkeeper for Barcelona. He had to make 3 or 4 decent saves, and I just haven't sort of, without Messi you can't judge Barcelona. You know, Barcelona need the Messis of this world, and the Jordi Albas and the Sergio Busquets and Semedos, and they've got so much quality sitting on the bench, and I'm expecting to see some of those players perform in the second half. Gerard Piqué is another one who could just slot in at centre half, but I think it's his 12th season at Barcelona, which is incredible.
Jerry, it was a chance here for Valverde to have a good look at some of the young players and give the Barca support over here the chance to assess whether they deserve the opportunity. I don't think we could say that they've really taken it, have they?
No, I wouldn't expect too many of those players to play for Barcelona in La Liga, because unless there's a lot of injuries, because the lack of experience was very evident, especially Junior Firpo and Wague as well. The two fullbacks pushed forward at the same time, and their positional play wasn't great. I do think Ricky Puig, who's had a couple of little runs, he's still got a long way to go, but you're talking to players that have only played twice, maybe 3 times for the first team, so I think it's a learning curve for these young players, and they're going to have to do a lot more to break into the Barcelona side. Some of them aren't just ready yet.
Everybody a bit disappointed that Messi couldn't be here, but still so much enthusiasm, mainly the majority Barcelona, and so many other star names, of course, for the crowd to get right behind.
Well, their new signing, Anton Griezmann, I think has shown 3 or 4 very good pieces of play in the first half and has contributed quite a lot for me. And I think he and Messi will combine brilliantly in this season, and looking forward to seeing that. But then you've got Athletic Bilbao, who played Roma a couple of days ago and drew 2-2. Iker Muniain scored, and so did Raul Garcia. And you've got the likes of Iñaki Williams, who's a very, very quick player up front. And they're a hard side to go to. San Mamés is a tough place to go for the opening game of the season, and that's where the champions are bound for Friday week.
Another tough place to go anytime. San Paolo in Naples, an amazing stadium, of course.
Not too sure about their start of the season though. Napoli, they've got a really tough one, haven't they?
Well, Jerry, most certainly. They've got 2 away games at Fiorentina and Juventus. Juventus, their greatest rivals in recent years, before they even get a home game against Sampdoria. They have to wait till the 14th of September.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done.
Mr. Cool, here he comes, Ancelotti. Seen it all, done it all, never gets flustered.
I do like him. He's a class manager and a class person. Looks like some of the young lads are going to be coming out the second half. I wonder, are they going to make any changes?
May leave it.
Yeah, he may leave
10-15 minutes. I think that actually tells a story. I think that says Valverde has told them, we're Barcelona and that's not good enough, and you will not get many chances to put it right. Well,
he said what he had to say at half-time. Let's see, does it have an effect on them, because they've got to play better than that. They need to perform much better than that. And as I said, but the other thing is it's over 2 legs, Paul, as well, so he may have a game plan. His most important game is the first game of the season against Athletic Bilbao and San Mamés.
Poor Umtiti got there as quickly as he could, but he did steer home Callejon's effort to make it 1-1.
It looks like it was possibly going in anyway, Paul, but it wasn't a great performance from the back four, I have to say. Tite and the two full-backs, both of them, Firpo and Wage, both struggled. Todibo didn't do bad for me. Of the centre halves, I thought Todibo did quite well.
Don't think we're going to see Luis Suarez in the second half. Maybe not Griezmann either.
Nope.
One on that La Liga opener, surely, as Jerry mentioned. So here we go. Abel Ruiz has gone in up front for Barca. Just 19 years. Came off the bench late in the season in the 2-0 win at home to Getafe. And Rafinha is the other player who's come on. He also came on against Arsenal and really put himself about in the middle of the park, actually.
He's got a great left foot, Rafinha. I have to say, he's decent. Oh, cool fly. Oh, grip. Oh.
Wage sliding in again, as he did early in the first half.
He's very robust, and the referee going to have a word with him.
You know, he caught Mario Rui again.
Yeah.
Yellow carded this time. I thought the first one should have been a yellow, Jerry, just to calm him down.
Yeah, but see when he goes in, he comes in and it's his trailing leg, I think he catches him with. This left foot.
Tell us, Jerry, in your opinion, was that worse or not as bad as the first challenge?
I think he got booked because he's made two similar challenges, and that's why he's got the yellow card. But you know, he's a committed player. He's one of those players it's about his energy, and he can't help himself in terms of when he goes in to win the ball, he's going to win it 100%. And his commitment, I love that type of commitment from a player. But that was maybe 10 or 15 years ago. You would have got away with that, but not now. You know, not in these circumstances.
Todibo, picked up by Rafinha. Perez very, very quiet in that first half. Needs to get more involved.
He had one shot when he came inside from the right-hand side on his left foot, and it was a decent effort on target. But I agree, he hasn't done enough in the first half. And as I say, it's a showcase. They've got to really show what they can do. That was a particularly good ball from Rafinha. Oh, good skills.
He's been fairly cool, the new man at right back, young Di Lorenzo, for Napoli tonight.
Slight deflection from that shot from Rakitic, which took a lot of the sting out of the shot, and it went on target.
Di Lorenzo actually was promoted with Empoli, and that really brought him into prominence in Italy, and then he followed up in his first Serie A season, missed only one game, and scored 5 goals for them.
Well, fullbacks that score you goals are worth a lot,
as João Cancelo has proven today.
Yeah. Well, they've been looking for a replacement for Dani Alves for a long, long time. I'm not convinced Semedo is that replacement, and he's now made a challenge which he was offside, and once he does that, the linesman's flag is going to go up.
They'd never admit it, but like Barcelona watch what goes on at Real Madrid at the moment, I think Napoli watch every move in and out at Juventus, hoping that it might tilt the scales a little bit in their favour for next season, but they've got a fair amount of ground to make up, just as Real have on Barca at the moment. Here's Perez, got away from Callejon. It's a good looking ball. Maximovic was cool, but there's a time for Wage to line it up on the edge of the box. Rakitic Rafinha, Ruiz, that was a nice idea. Rafinha just couldn't see it coming his way.
Oh, it was on his left foot as well. He should have done better.
Napoli looked to break quickly. Here we go. Mertens. Goalkeeper's got to get there. Neto did well, very well.
Well, he's been their best player for me in the first half, Neto. He's made some great saves. Outside the penalty area, he's keeper sweeper here. He sees that he's onside and he's read it very well. He's got out
just ahead of Zielinski.
Well, he had to get there because it would have been a tap-in. But still, mistakes being made by Barcelona, lots of them. And when you make mistakes, opportunities will arise. But can they take the opportunities? Napoli, they've missed quite a few good opportunities in the first half. Well, you were quite happy to keep possession of the ball and drag Barcelona out of position.
Fabian Ruiz. Blue jerseys buzzing everywhere again. Given away again by Barca. Fabian Ruiz, nice reverse. Just a little bit of showboating by Insigne, and Neto gives him a look and says, I'm a bit better than that, son. You'll have to do better to beat me.
Well, he looked as if he was coming out Neto, advancing from his line, and Insigne has a look here, and then he backpedals, and he just takes a little step back, and it's gone over the crossbar anyway. But it was a cheeky attempt, wasn't it, from Insigne?
Nice
Very
smile
cheeky
by Neto. Busquets. Crowd telling us somebody was on his back. Found the range that time. Perez. Into the box he goes. Superbly. And twice over merit gets in to deny Ruiz.
Excellent play. Do you know what? That's more like it. It's flowing, it's counter-attack, it's quick. Some really good passing. And Ruiz does brilliant. Look, he gets a half a yard in front of the defender, hits the target once and twice. Excellent piece of play, and that's probably one of the best passages of play. Carlos Perez plays a big part as well down the left-hand side, Paul. Excellent ball in. No, it's good goalkeeping. Credit to the goalkeeper, Merit.
Well, that did look like a young player, Jerry, who wants to seize his opportunity. And yet, look at the ridiculous level of competition in his way. Griezmann, Suarez, Messi and co. But other young players have not risen to the occasion. He seems determined to do so.
That won't do any harm there. This is Jose Callejon.
Didn't try to lob the goalkeeper that time, did he? But not quite from the direct approach from Insigne either.
Early cross as well from Callejon. He could see Insigne arriving on the edge of the box, and again doesn't hit the target.
10 Serie A goals from Insigne last season. Not quite at the level of 16-17 when he got 18. But a quality player in every sense. Great career. And still very important player for Italy.
Absolutely.
Quick. Wage. Forward move by Rafinha again. Rakitic. Here is Rafinha. Wage. High, wide and none too handsome.
Angle was tight for Wage, to be fair. He might have been offside. You can see here Busquets finds the pass. Sorry, it's Rakitic finds the pass. Rafinha's shot's partially blocked. That's a tight decision. He doesn't hit the target.
Miss hit. Could be costly by Manolas. Rafinha onto it. Another miss hit by Manolas. They're going to pay surely, or they get away with it, Napoli. What an embarrassing passage of play for the 36 million defender Manolas.
Well, the mistakes are being made this half by Napoli, and Barcelona are playing much better, and the young players are playing better. That's a terrible pass. It's not a great ball, but they can't give the ball away like that, and Rafinha's got to do better than that for me. He's made a difference since he came on, Rafinha. He's certainly a lot more energy coming from him, and he's more determined.
Here come Barca from the short corner, Rakitic. Puig. Wage to Rafinha. That's a bit more like it. Ball moving around a bit quicker for Barcelona. Rakitic has gone up a gear. He hits this one himself. That wasn't missing by much.
This is more like vintage Barcelona, controlling the game. They're passing the movements much better. You made a good comment, Paul, about the half-time talk in the dressing room, and Valverde certainly has said something, because they're playing much better. Should hit the target, Rakitic, though, shouldn't he?
A bit more pressure being applied to Elmas in the middle of the field and Zielinski than in the first half.
It wasn't a great ball from him, wasn't it? It was a 50-50. But it's caught.
Jerry, you think back to the first 20 minutes, Elmas was running the show.
He was.
It's different now, isn't it?
That's because Barcelona woke up. And it was a 50-50, and he's got caught, I think, on his left ankle. A challenge from Rakitic. He's wrapped his foot around. He certainly made some sort of contact. I think he's coming. Who's going off? Is it Mertens? Yeah, I think it is Mertens coming off.
Well spotted, Jerry. One of those coming on here is Gianluca Gaetano. He's only 19 years of age. He's a proper Napoli boy, born in the city. Busquets with a problem for Barca.
They're not going to take a risk on him if there's a problem.
Absolutely, Jerry.
You can't take a
way
risk
too valuable.
Totally. Is Elmas going to have to come off as well? Still limping.
Sad if true, because he made a big impression in the first half.
He did, but he's finding it tougher in the second half, because Barcelona's up to one or two gears. That's the challenge coming in. It is Busquets. I think he's injured himself in the challenge, as well as Elmas.
With 9 men on the field at the moment, and they've been brought. Oh, Napoli. That shaved the post. Well, what the new man actually is his first involvement. Milik straight on the field, straight down the middle. That's his first touch, Jerry. He nearly scored.
Well, on his left-hand side, he's timed his run really well, but he hasn't hit the target. One thing you're told, if you're going to miss it at the far post, but he does really need to hit the target there for me. And they missed a lot of chances in the first half, and Milik may not get a better chance than that.
So our attention was drawn to the injury concern for Elmas and Busquets, but here's a summary of the changes, 4 in total. Callejon and Manolas make that 5 changes by Napoli, all in a bunch. Gula, Milik, Gaetano, Verdi and Luperto have all come on. All 5 in one fell swoop by Ancelotti.
He needed to ring the changes, because it wasn't a good performance in that opening 10-15 minutes. He decided, I'm going to change it now.
Wasn't a lot the goalkeeper would do with that one.
Looked like they were still trying to play their way out from the back, and Mertens was looking for a pass.
Todibo.
He shows confidence, doesn't he? Look at this.
Well, the way's parted for him. Helped on by Puig. Getting more involved. Here's Rafinha. It's much better, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah.
Perez and Puig, who were anonymous in the first period.
Absolutely. And what about Todibo? A fantastic run, as I say. His strength and determination got him into the right area. He continued to run, but then the shot from Rafinha was disappointing after a really good build-up.
Suddenly it's Barcelona really exerting their authority on proceedings here.
Perez to take it.
Ruiz, Rafinha. Rafinha's playing at the moment like a man who's pretty fed up of being a backup player, Jerry, and he wants to assert himself.
No, he's a very good squad player. He has got great ability. He's played a lot more football, you can see, than some of the other young lads who only had 2 or 3 games. Rafinha is a bit of class, I think, but he hasn't hit the target enough in the 2 opportunities he's had in the second half. Should have done better.
Napoli with a lot of defending to do now.
Rakitic, lack of concentration, Paul.
There's his mistake for the season. Gulam came on for Mario Rui, incidentally. Rui took 1 or 2 fairly severe blows. Verdi and Milik, it was given offside. Arkadiusz Milik, a different style of frontman, isn't he, Jerry? Completely to the trio of Callejon, Insigne and Mertens, but he got 17 Serie A goals in what was his 2nd season at Napoli. That is very
impressive.
Good.
That's very impressive, and he's not a small player. He's a big player, but his movement was good. He timed his run on the offside there really well, I thought.
And so they have Verdi playing just off him now. Verdi, a player, it's got to happen at Napoli because everybody in Italy's been waiting for him really to become a top-line performer for, what, 5 years and more now. He's had 2 goes at it in Milan and Bologna. Better little spell for Napoli suddenly. Callejon. Verdi on the move. Milik showed him where he wanted it. So it's a completely different proposition to defend against this style, isn't it, if you're Barcelona, Jerry, suddenly?
It is, but the fresh players coming on has given them a little bit of a boost, and they've got renewed energy, but they've got to start passing the ball a little bit better. Some of it's sloppy.
Got to be a foul, hasn't it?
Look, the foul all day long, but do you know what? He's done so well to come out with the ball. And here's Rafinha again, who's been at the heart of everything. Oh, this is good.
Much improved in the second half, Puig. That was not a great ball from him, however, to Perez. Gets another go at it. Good game, isn't it?
It's been a much better game than the second half with the fresh players coming on, and Barcelona doing the normal, which is their passing is usually very good, and Rakitic on the ball looking for an opportunity to try and pass it forward. That's not a great ball, but Ricky Puig has done really well second half, much better than the first half for me. That's a poor pass.
Busquets was onto it quickly. Rafinha looks for a free kick and gets it. Rafinha got a knock a couple of minutes ago. I think he's still feeling it here.
Well, he's got surrounded very quickly here, and that's a straight down the back of his Achilles there. That was not a clever piece of play. Gaetano didn't do an awful lot. Another substitution. It's for Barcelona this time. Well, they're rigging the changes, aren't they? And Frankie de Jong,
along with Dembele, Nelson Semedo and Piqué.
Well, this is more of an experienced side coming in now. They're going to get the last 25 minutes of the game, and this is going to be closer to the first team that kicks off the season Friday week.
So the 75 million purchase from Ajax. De Jong. Semedo's going to come on and play it right back clearly.
Piqué is going to go in for Todibo. I think we called that one, didn't we, in the first half? No surprise.
Rakitic and Rafinha lining this free kick up.
Clears the right foot.
Rakitic it is.
Well, usually when the goal is covered by the wall on that right-hand side of the goal, it's the right foot that curls it over the top of the goal. He tries to curl it round it and it doesn't hit the target. That's a disappointing free kick from Rakitic.
Callejon. Barcelona a bit stretched. Nelson Semedo has to cover. Just run away a little bit from Insigne. De Jong. What a war he gets. Dembele outside him. Made some room to have a shot, which he does. He hits the post. There's a great effort from Dembele. Merit beaten, all ends up.
Well, there's the class you're talking about. Two class players, De Beek and Dembele combined, and that's what Barcelona can bring on. Wow.
Mighty, mighty close.
It's been Barcelona's half, the second half for me. And they've got more full strength side out, and they look class at the minute now.
Piqué keeps the tempo upbeat. Rolling Stones come here in a couple of weeks, a bit like the warm-up, and then the band really started to play. Start me up, Jerry, start me up.
It's like the Rolling Stones going on stage without Mick Jagger, and then the second half they bring him on. But they put some class players on now, and it's more a formidable Barcelona side. And here's a chance through the middle.
It's Milik. Surely he's going to take it on himself. He does! Oh, it's a brilliant stop by Neto.
That's class. That is class, I have to say. Milik has done everything right. But what a save. That's the best save of the game for me. It's almost past him. He collapses so quickly. This is the shot from earlier from Dembele. What a great shot off the post.
On we go, end to end. And Neto grabs that one from Insigne.
Well, Gerard Piqué, he's sort of still in second gear for me. But that was a mistake earlier there, once again from Umtiti. That allowed Milik to get in on the left-hand side and get the cracking shot off.
Forward move was made by De Jong and it emptied that space. Here's Dembele. Goes again, Dembele. Forceful from Milik.
I think it was a flailing hand, came back. No, hard. Much of it hit Umtiti, and there's a yellow card. Sometimes it's an accident when players are running away, and I think that's the case there. Milik is saying, look, I'm running away. Well, the hand comes back. I think he's holding him off rather than throwing it back. The referee sees that.
You see, the other thing there is from the other angle, Jerry. Umtiti has a grab at the shirt.
Yeah, but do you know what? Umtiti's gone down far too easy for me. He's the centre half. You know, when you feel a hand coming around your face, you don't collapse like that. And that's what we see in the modern game. Players go down too readily for me.
A very upbeat second half here in the Hard Rock Stadium. Could go either way. Rakitic, again a forward move by De Jong.
Good ball.
Down the side to Nelson Semedo. Rafinha. Rakitic with room. De Jong, he's actually aimed at Ava Ruiz. Was a very good run by De Jong again.
Yeah, but both players went to the near post. I'd like to see one of them hug the far post. Would have given more of a problem. And Rakitic disappointed with the final ball. But Barcelona certainly in the up in the second half. They've dominated the second half more for me. And we get a chance to see some of the new signings as well.
Second drinks break now. This was the opener for Busquets, steered beautifully into the corner, away from Meret. Not quite certain that Barcelona merited being in front, if you'll pardon the appalling pun, but they took it, and they didn't last long in the lead. Napoli with a deserved leveller. Callejon at the top of your screen there, cutting in and cutting round Firpo. Umtiti did the rest. Quite a few near things at either end in this second half, but it's still all to be won and lost. And remember again, this is the first of leg of two in this meeting of La Liga and Serie A.
It's very entertaining, Paul, though, I have to say, really entertaining.
Here's Gula. Another of the old stalwarts at Napoli, of course, Raul Albiol moved back to Spain, didn't he, in the summer, Jerry? He's going to play for Villarreal.
Yep. Villarreal play some really good football. It's a club just outside Valencia.
Former Valencia keeper Neto. Zielinski. That was better by Piqué. De Jong. Looks to have been given a bit more of a licence to go forward tonight by Valverde, Jerry. He just sat against Arsenal quite a lot.
Well, I think he's going to grow in confidence, and he's going to know what his teammates are all about, and he'll find that out in training. So it's a process of give him 2 or 3 weeks to settle down and 3 or 4 games to settle down. We'll see the class that De Jong has. But if you're an Ajax fan, how do you replace him?
Absolutely, that's the key issue. Brazil and Peru set to meet in an international here on September the 10th.
Oh, look at this.
Here's Dembele of France, all the way to the edge of the box, edged off it, Rakitic. Junior Firpo was free, never got the ball.
He was the better pass for me.
Milik, Insigne. Here's Goulam. Great ball, Milik, how does he miss that? A centre forward like that, 17 Serie A goals last season, all he has to do is head it.
That's a bit of showboating from me. Heading it into the back of the net was too easy for him. In it comes, and he just tries to chest it in. That's ridiculous. Fabulous ball from Goulam, and he should have done better. It should have been 2-1 to Napoli. Carlo Ancelotti will not be a happy man, believe you me. I don't know why he's smiling.
That's embarrassing for a professional footballer, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Awful. He had the ball in the back of the net. He's a yard from goal. Neto should have been beaten.
Vaguely disrespectful of Barcelona, to be honest with you, but you know, if you're 4 or 5-1 up, maybe you could understand it, but otherwise, come on.
I seen something similar for Spain a few months ago, and it was Rodrigo who plays for Valencia, and he was playing at the far post. The ball comes in, and he tried to let it hit his back to cushion it in front of his teammate, and it was disgraceful. That was an international match. He's come in with his left foot and blocked it, but the reaction again of the players, and that's why he's going to end up getting booked for that.
Don Verdi.
Did you see Verdi had a little look over his right shoulder, knew he was coming, and played the game really well. I don't think there was that much contact, but he knew he was going to get the free kick, and he got him a yellow card as well.
Outside Husai has come on for Napoli. Again, talk that Husai might be on the move, potentially to the Premier League. Titi. Suddenly the pace drops, but it's been really frantic here in the second half.
More calculation going on and more definitive in terms of keeping the ball and looking for the right pass. They're not gambling as much, but then you've got more experienced players on the park.
Dembele. Here's De Jong. That's a great little ball. Dembele, not bad from him either. Here's Ruiz, nice touches. Shot a little bit too slow, but not that one, and it's crashed into the net to give Barca a 2-1 lead, and Rakitic was the man.
Well, you think of the shots in the first half from Luis Suarez on the edge of the box, but look at the finish here from Rakitic. Knee over the top of the ball, which means it's not going to go high, and it was a definitive, a really great professional strike. And Barcelona have merited a second goal in the second half. But now the big question is, what about Milik's effort? And that's going to be brought up at the end of the game. If they lose this 2-1, they'll be saying, why didn't you hit that ball in the back of the net? That's a great strike. And well deserved. And Ruiz has had the shot. Look at that composure and the half volley. And the strike is just so clean. And he doesn't score simple goals. He only scores cracking goals, doesn't he, Rakitic?
A new contract to keep him at Barcelona. Such an important part of the fabric of the club.
Ivan is the man. So important. Well, if they're going to save it, it's 10 minutes left, Paul, and they have shown they've got the quality, especially down that left-hand side. That super piece of play, the cross, should have been buried in the back of the net by Milik, that man.
In by Goulam. That's Piqué's head. It's corner to Napoli.
He's done himself no harm, Neto, today. He's played very, very well.
Much more assured than he was the other night, Jerry. And it was Ter Stegen brought on at half-time. 3 or 4 really good stops by Neto tonight. Rafinha. Drops to Dembele. Here he goes. They're going to try and rugby tackle him. Now, is that red or yellow in your opinion?
It's got to be a red card. It's gone through, and the referee gives him a yellow, and I can't believe that. It should have been a red card.
Very, very, very fortunate.
Goal for goal. First touch round the last defender. Have a look. There's nobody else behind him. He's going straight for goal, and he pulls him back. None of these other defenders can get in and help, so he knows he has to pull him back. It's disappointing, but that's part of the professional game. And he's lucky it's a yellow. It should have been a red for me. They're asking the question, Busquets, Ivan Rakitic, they're asking the referee, why is it not a red card? And he said, oh, there was 2 other players, but the other 2 players were not in a position that they could have intercepted the ball. They were too far away from the play, and the referee, for me, has got it wrong. He's looked good since he came on, Dembele, hasn't he? He's really impressed.
Very much so, yeah. Firpo forced back.
Shows some good touches, Rafinha. Got a sweet left foot.
Gaetano gets away with that one. Switch by Busquets. Dembele again. He's really in the mood at the moment.
He's too quick for them, and they know it. They can't afford to give him a yard.
That's a bit risky. All's well that ends well. Maximovic. De Jong wins it back well. So much more like Barcelona here in the second period. Rafinha's been very, very good. Dembele looks to have a goal in him tonight.
I only seen Dembele getting better. Paul, he's class. And he's settling in nicely now at Barcelona. Well, he was offside and he knew it. The pass was made and he didn't even make an attempt to go for it because he was already a yard off. Now watch this touch round him. None of the other 2 blue shirts can do anything. They're not in a position that they can help the last defender out. And he has to pull him back.
Rafinha again. That just a bit too short for Dembele. Zielinski. Behind Insigne, but it dropped for him nonetheless off Nelson Semedo. Now Milik, got to make amends here. Milik steering away from Piqué. Neto sharp again.
Wow. Well, look at it, end to end, Paul.
Dembele goes again. Ruiz is up there with him. Still Dembele.
Oh my goodness, he's done everything right except hit the target. Shaped to go inside and brought two defenders one way, goes outside on his left foot and misses the target by a mile.
Somebody in the crowd here makes an unbelievable catch, Jerry. Just there.
An ex-goalkeeper possibly. Unbelievable stuff end to end, and really good play, and it could go still down to the wire, because although Barcelona's 2-1 up, Napoli have had a couple of chances.
Space here. Callejon with the pull back, and it's driven wide by Insigne. They read them each other so well. Insigne's just not had one of his best nights. He's so annoyed with himself.
Well, you can see why. He is a class player, and it's a great ball in. Insigne coming on the edge of the D, it's cut back to him and he doesn't hit the target. He pulls the shot wide, and he's better than that, we know that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's poor finishing from him. On another night he could have had a couple of goals.
But you think back to that one that Mertens had, Jerry, you know,
yeah.
On another night early on, that chance, Mertens just puts that in the net. Same there with Insigne.
Totally, but I'm looking at the Milik. That's the best chance of the night. That's a tap in, that's a header in the back of the net, and that's going to be an inquest at the very end.
One or two of the captains you played for, oh dear me, if you walk back in having done that.
Well, Pat Rice at Watford and certainly Steve Perryman at Tottenham, they would have had an absolute fit. Well, the old eyes are going up, and that's what I'm saying. This Barcelona side passed the ball very well, and they love to dominate possession and force mistakes from the opposition. Oh, it's a poor challenge.
That's the frustration now creeping in, isn't it, for Callejon?
Well, he's come in, and he was a little bit late, to be fair, but
he doesn't really know how to foul anybody, does he, Jerry?
No, he's just hit his standing leg on Firpo, and he's always going to go down. They've chased shadows most of the second half, and he's a player who needs the ball to show what he can do, and he hasn't been able to do that too much in the second half.
See, Jerry, you know, the prestige worldwide of Barcelona, it was a simply unacceptable level of performance, really, wasn't it, in the first period?
It was, and to be fair, the players who played poorly in the first half, the first 15 minutes of the second half, they responded to, obviously, what Valverde had said. And then they brought on the more experienced players, and we saw, well, class. You know, Dembele has shown us what he can do, and he is top class. And Piqué slotted in at centre half, and it's been a great performance from Barcelona in the second half.
Ruiz. Rafinha again getting into a forward area. Nelson Semedo kept going as well. Rafinha just going for everything in there.
And they're winning all the ball back again. Barcelona's first to every breaking ball, and you can see Napoli are second best at this moment in time, and they've only 2 minutes to save it, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen for them. Verde makes another foul.
On by Dembele. De Jong. That was good.
Well, it's one touch and two touch play, and Barcelona keep possession and frustrate the opposition and make them work, and that's what they do. That's what they're very good at. There's a chance on now. Look at this, Dembele.
It's really good stuff from Barcelona here as they seek to close out the show. Dembele. Oh.
Paul, he's done everything but score, and you can see from behind the ball the shape there. He was trying to curl it in. He's so unfortunate he hasn't got a goal, but it's brilliant play. And he can open his body up, and he's trying to curl it in the far post. He's so close. Was it 2-3 inches past the post?
Ruiz wriggles free. Hits it straight at the keeper.
He worked hard there, Ruiz, for that.
Husai. Gulam. Cut out by Rakitic.
Oh, it's a poor challenge.
Gulam following up.
Following through. I think following up and following through,
well
Gulam. And Rafinha, he's controlled the ball. He just goes straight through the back of him.
.26 now, Rafinha. Only 3 La Liga starts last season. After that spell on loan at Inter. I suppose he could become the new Vidal for Barca, that kind of player, Jerry, do you think?
Vidal, I'm not sure he's going to be a Vidal, but he has that ability in him, and it's a question of whether he can rise to the challenge. But I see that it's the work ethic that I've seen in Barcelona in the second half. They've not just got the quality, but they've worked hard as well.
Last chance now for Napoli, I think. Here's Verdi, takes it on himself. And Insigne is asking politely whether he might have considered the other options.
Well, he was going for glory, Verdi. He's coming inside on his left foot, and it was straight down the throat of the goalkeeper.
And it was very much the last moment of opportunity for Napoli. Barcelona have won it. A massive improvement in the level of their performance here in the second period in Miami. Much more like it, and it just all got away from Ancelotti's men. Napoli were excellent in the first half, but it is Barcelona who take the spoils here. It's only